Wait, before you scroll past this video, before you swipe to the next one, I need you to hear what's been laid on my heart for you today. Something is about to shift. Not as a maybe, not as a hope, but as a done deal. You didn't end up here by accident. What was being held back, what was blocked, what you thought would never arrive, is being released right now. Stay with me until the end. Before we finish, I'm going to give you a 3-step protocol you can do tonight. One that will prepare your heart to receive everything that's coming. You know exactly what kind of pain I'm talking about. It isn't just being tired. It's that feeling of waking up in the morning with a heavy weight in your chest. Before you even open your eyes, before you check your phone, before your first cup of coffee. It's a weight that doesn't have a name, but it has an address. It sits right there, between your rib cage and your throat. It isn't a lack of faith. It's those nights where you closed your banking app and just stared at the ceiling. Not crying, that's almost easier. Just sitting there in the silence, doing the math in your head, trying to figure out how you're going to make it to the end of the month. It isn't impatience. It's that feeling of watching everyone else's life move forward. A promotion here, a baby announcement there, a big win on the other side of the screen, and you feel guilty for feeling what you feel because you know you should be happy for them. But that question keeps echoing in the back of your mind. When is it going to be my turn? It isn't disbelief. It's that prayer you whispered last night so you wouldn't wake anyone up, asking for the exact same thing you asked for 6 months ago. And you finished the prayer and went to sleep, not knowing if you were even heard. I see you, and I'm standing here with you, because you're still standing. That isn't a small thing. That is everything. If this word is hitting home, hit that like button right now. Let that like be your public amen. Heaven records what you confess in the light. Before we go any further, I need to tell you something. You aren't waiting in a vacuum. You are waiting inside my plan. I saw every prayer you made in the dark. I heard every single one. I need to give you 3 things in this video. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video. I need to give you 3 things in this video. First, the spiritual truth behind what you're feeling. Because what feels like abandonment, what feels like a delay, what feels like you're stuck in the mud, it isn't that. And once you understand what's actually happening, it's going to change the way you wake up tomorrow morning. Second, a 3-step protocol you can do tonight. You don't need anything special. You don't need anyone else there. That will open your heart to receive what has already been decreed over your life. Third, a declaration you're going to take with you. A single sentence that, when life tries to convince you nothing will ever change, you will remember, and that weight is going to break. Stay until the end. Don't break the connection early. What's in the middle of this video is what changes the end of your story. Close your eyes for a second. Look away from the screen for just a moment, and then come back. Because what I'm about to show you isn't a theory. It's a spiritual diagnosis. There are signs that a blessing from God is headed your way. Signs you're probably experiencing right now and misinterpreting. The first sign is a heart that won't settle. You feel restless for no clear reason. It isn't the anxiety of a problem. It's a different kind of buzz. An agitation that feels more like anticipation than fear. You've tried to put a name on it and couldn't. You called it nerves, or worrying about nothing, or a lack of peace. But it isn't a lack of peace. It's your spirit signaling that something is imminent. The door is about to swing open, and your soul knows it before your mind can process it. The second sign is a sudden burnout with old patterns. All of a sudden, the things that used to hold you don't hold you anymore. A relationship, an environment, a habit, a thought loop. They've lost their power. You didn't even do anything different. Something just let go. You called it indifference or growing apart or just getting older. It's not. It's the end of a cycle being decreed in heaven before you even notice it on earth. You aren't just quitting. Heaven is releasing you. The third sign is when old memories and buried dreams resurface. The old version of you, a childhood dream you buried, a version of your life you gave up on imagining. They're back. At night, in the morning, in the middle of a random conversation. You called it nostalgia, or useless daydreaming, or your mind playing tricks on you. It's not. It's the Spirit showing you the exact point where the detour happened, so the course correction can start right there. The fourth sign is sudden friction in your environment. People close to you who were never difficult are suddenly being difficult. A situation that was stable is now shaky. You called it bad luck, or a rough patch, or a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's strategic interference. The enemy senses it before you see it. When there is sudden opposition with no visible cause, it's because something massive is approaching from God's side. The resistance is just the shadow of the blessing arriving. The fifth sign is a thirst for something you can't name. It's not a hunger for food. It's not a need for sleep. It's not a craving for company. It's a thirst that sits right in the center of your chest. No entertainment can distract you from it, and it only settles down when you stop and pray. You called it feeling empty, or a little depressed, or just feeling off. It's your spirit crying out for alignment before a delivery. The thirst that has no name has only one source, and it isn't found in this world. If you recognize two or more of these signs, you aren't wandering. You are being prepared. Type "free" in the comments if this word reached you. Let heaven record your response. Close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to say won't work if your attention is divided. Come back inside, because what comes next is the heart of this message. I'm going to tell you about a man who spent more time going down than he did going up. A man who hit rock bottom more often than he hit the peak. And a man who, in a single day, was pulled from the deepest pit to the highest throne in the known world. Joseph was thrown into a pit by his own brothers. Not strangers, family. The people who should have been the first to celebrate with him when his dreams came true. From the pit, he was sold into slavery. From slavery, he became a prisoner. And in the middle of that prison, there was a man who promised to remember him before Pharaoh, and then forgot about him for 2 whole years. 2 more years of waiting. 2 more years in a cell he didn't deserve to be in. 2 years that by human standards looked like abandonment. By heaven's standards, they were preparation. And then, in a single day, in one day, everything changed. Not bit by bit. Suddenly, Pharaoh called. Joseph walked out of prison in the morning and was the second most powerful man in Egypt before the sun went down. The delay wasn't a punishment. It was positioning. Every step from the pit to the palace was necessary for him to reach the exact level of authority his dream required. If he had left any sooner, he would have arrived too small for what was waiting for him. Think about a piece of fruit that falls from the tree too early. It's hard. It's bitter. It's useless. No one blames the fruit. It just left before it was ready. Now think about that same fruit on the same branch. The one that stood through the wind, that endured the heat, that waited through the entire process. When it finally drops, it drops at the perfect moment, with a sweetness that took months to build. The wait doesn't steal the flavor. The wait creates the flavor. You are Joseph before Pharaoh's call. You are the fruit that is getting sweeter with every day of waiting that feels unbearable. The palace isn't miles away. It's just past the next step. Do you see yourself more in Joseph or in the fruit that's ripening? Write it in the comments. Joseph or ready? Declare your position today. Let me stop for one full minute. You've made it this far, and I want you to understand what this video is doing. 1. You are watching a video you didn't choose to see. It found you. It wasn't just the algorithm. It was your spirit crying out for a specific word. 2. You recognized the signs. That means the process was already happening before this message even reached you. 3. You're still here, more than 13 minutes in. Most people who weren't meant for this would have scrolled away by now. 4. What you're feeling right now, that lightness mixed with a new sense of urgency, that isn't video emotion. It's your heart recognizing that something real is being released. You thought I was silent, but I was weaving. Every thread you thought was loose, I was tying it together underneath in the places you couldn't see. What looked like chaos was construction. And here is who you are in the middle of it all. You have a name in heaven. Not the name on your birth certificate. The name that describes who you are in the spiritual realm. The name that authorizes, that qualifies, that sets you apart. I'm going to tell you 3 of those names right now. The first is the one chosen to wait longer than the others. You weren't given an ordinary faith. You were given a faith that can handle a level of pressure most people can't, because what is reserved for you requires that kind of strength. The wait you've endured wasn't an accident. It was a selection process. You were tested at the exact point where others gave up, and you stayed. What this identity authorizes is this: when the promise is fulfilled in your life, you will have the authority to speak to those who are still waiting, not as a theory, as a living testimony, not as someone who read about it, but as someone who lived through it. The second name is the guardian of a promise without a date. You received a word from the Spirit, from a prayer, from a deep conviction, without a delivery date, and you guarded that promise without any proof that it was real. No certificate, no applause, just silence. Guarding a promise with no deadline is one of the most radical acts of faith there is. You did that. What this identity authorizes is this: you are authorized to receive the fulfillment of that promise without hesitation. Don't shrink back. Don't wonder if you deserve it. You guarded it. Now you receive it. The third name is the heart, prepared for the offering. You didn't get to this moment on a whim. You were moved here. The very title of this video was the word you needed to hear, because your heart was ready to be prepared to receive. Preparing your heart isn't about becoming worthy. It's about removing the junk that was blocking what is already yours. And what this video is doing right now, in real time, is removing those blocks. What this identity authorizes is this: you are authorized to receive the blessing that is coming without trying to make it smaller. Don't ask for less. Don't apologize for abundance. Just open up. Which of these identities do you recognize as yours today? Write it in the comments. Chosen, guardian, or open heart. And subscribe right now, because the next word I bring needs to find you already in position. What comes next is a gift. It's the protocol I promised at the start. Before you go to sleep tonight, you're going to do 3 things. You don't need candles, you don't need music, you don't even need perfect silence. You just need intention. The first step is called the gate of naming. Sit down, close your eyes, and ask in the silence, what am I carrying that isn't mine? Let the first thing that comes up, an image, a name, a situation, be named. Say it out loud, even in a whisper. This isn't mine. I give it back to the hands it belongs to. Naming isn't weakness. It's precision. What you name, you release. What you don't name, you carry. The second step is called the gate of opening. With your hands open, palms facing up, say, my heart is open. What was promised to me, I receive. What was held back, I decree is released. What's on its way finds a heart that is ready. Open hands aren't just a gesture. They are the physical posture of receiving. Your body is telling your spirit, I'm ready. The third step is called the gate of silence. Stay in complete silence for 2 minutes. Don't think, don't plan, just be present. The sign that the protocol worked isn't euphoria or crying or some dramatic sensation. It's a very specific quietness, a lightness in your chest that feels like something finally clicked into place. That quietness is heaven confirming the decree. If you do this tonight, you will wake up tomorrow different. Not because life changed overnight, but because your heart will be positioned to receive what is already on its way. Now I have to warn you about what is going to try to steal this from you. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be thrown at you. Not as a possibility, as a certainty. The first is the return of the old exhaustion. In the hours after you close this video, a certain tiredness will return. It's not physical fatigue. It's the weight of everything you've tried that didn't work hitting you all at once. Like a legal argument against the hope you just opened up. It's as if your history of failed attempts is presenting itself as proof that this time won't be different. Your weapon against this is the first gate you just learned. Give it back out loud. Don't accept it as an argument. It's a lie disguised as a memory. The second is the voice of comparison. Someone around you is going to get good news in the next 72 hours, and the enemy will use that news to say, see, it worked for them. It's going to take longer for you. Your weapon against this is this truth. Their news isn't in your lane. It's in theirs. What is in your lane has your name on it, and it's coming in a different time, with a different scale. Someone else's blessing doesn't shrink yours. It confirms that heaven is still making deliveries. The third is the question of quitting. A thought will arrive that sounds very reasonable. Maybe I'm waiting for the wrong thing. Maybe I just need to accept that it's not going to happen. That thought will feel like maturity. It will feel like healthy realism. It will feel like you're just being honest with yourself. It's not. It's the enemy trying to pull up the roots of expectation before the harvest is ready. Your weapon against this is this declaration. The hope you have right now isn't naivety. It's faith built on a word, and the word does not return void. The greatest weapon the enemy has isn't what comes from the outside. It's your own internal voice saying you don't deserve what was promised. That voice has a history. It has arguments. It has dates and evidence. But it has zero authority over what has already been decreed by heaven. Authority and history are 2 different things. Type protected in the comments. The decree has been sealed. Heaven records what you declare in public. Before I close this video, I need you to do one thing. Place your hand on your chest. Your right hand open in the center of your chest. Not because it's magic, because it's a physical act of intention. Your body telling your spirit, I am present, I am receiving. Take a deep breath. Let go of everything you've carried this week. The weight of the bills, the weight of those hard conversations, the weight of unmet expectations, the weight of the prayers you aren't sure were heard. Let it all go right now. Not because it's over, but because you don't have to carry it anymore. Now, receive this word. I heard the prayer you whispered so you wouldn't wake anyone up. I saw that night you stared at the ceiling after closing your banking app. I was there. I wasn't distant. I was weaving in the silence while you thought I had forgotten. Every thread that looked loose, I was tying it together underneath, in the places you couldn't see. What is yours is already sealed by heaven, not as a future promise, but as a present decree. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. You don't need to wait for anyone's permission. I put you here for this hour. This heart you opened today. I've been waiting for you to open it. What's coming isn't a reward. It is an inheritance. And an inheritance isn't earned. It is received. May the peace that guards your heart cover every door of your life right now. May what was released in this video never be taken back. May what is on its way find the prepared heart that was opened here. In the name of the Son, you are covered. Amen. If this word reached exactly where it needed to go, type "done" in the comments right now. Heaven records it. The declaration matters. Share this video with one specific person, the one who is waiting, the one who is tired, the one you know needs to hear this today. Not a group, just one person. Put their name in your mind right now and send it directly to them. And if they want to go deeper, the link is in the first comment, waiting for them the same way it waited for you. And if you want to keep receiving this word, there is a video waiting for you here that talks about what to do when the silence of heaven feels like the silence of abandonment. Watch it after you finish the protocol. It is done. You are not the same person you were when this message started. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.